Good day, nurses. My name is Kimberly Joy Avacar, your training officer in the operating department, and I want to extend a warm welcome to each of you as you embark on your nursing careers. We are so thrilled you've chosen to join our team. Today's in-service lecture is an important step in your journey, offering you valuable insights and skills to enhance your practice. We encourage you to actively participate, ask questions, and embrace this opportunity to grow. Our topic is about surgical scrubbing, gowning, and gloving. These crucial steps must be completed by all members of the surgical team before each operation. You as a scrub nurse must embrace these foundational skills by heart. So, by the end of our session, new nurses in the operating department will be able to, first, explain the rationale behind hand scrubbing, gowning, and gloving. 2. Identify the necessary materials and equipment for a surgical procedure. 3. Explain the importance of maintaining a sterile field. 4. Recognize the potential breaches in sterile technique and implement corrective measures. And 5. Develop an understanding of the importance of sterile technique in relation to patient safety and surgical outcomes. So, let's dive in! Surgical scrubbing, gowning, and gloving are crucial steps in maintaining a sterile field and preventing surgical site infections. The process involves thoroughly cleaning hands and forearms, donning a sterile gown, and sterile gloves. These practices are critical for reducing the risk of contamination and ensuring patient safety during surgical procedures. Facts: despite the advances made in infection control practices, including improved operation room ventilation, sterilization methods, barriers, surgical technique, and availability of antimicrobial prophylaxis, SSIs or surgical site infection remain a substantial cause of morbidity, prolonged hospitalization, and mortality. According to CDC's NHSN or National Healthcare Safety Network, published this January 2025, it is reported that SSI accounts for 20% of all HAIs and is associated to a 2 to 11-fold increase in the risk of mortality, with 75% of SSI-associated deaths directly attributable to the SSI. Oh, and it's the most costly HAI or healthcare-associated infection type, with an estimated annual cost of $3.3 billion and extends hospital length of stay by 9.7 days, with cost of hospitalization increased by more than $20,000 per admission. Imagine that! Now, let's dive into the core skill of doing this procedure. First, prepare yourself as a scrub with the proper surgical attire. Tuck your shirt into your pants to avoid microbes from being shed. Roll your sleeves. And never wear your scrubs outside the hospital because we don't want to invite outside or environmental contaminants into the operating room. Second, put your surgical hat on and make sure all your hair is tucked in. Third, put on your eye protection to prevent infectious materials from splashing onto your eyes. Fourth, put your mask on. This is an essential barrier in every sterile field, especially if instruments are opened and sterility has been established. Fifth, remove all your jewelry and your watch, as it is considered infectious. They can fall and contaminate the sterile field and the patient. Some facilities allow wedding bands to be kept while scrubbing. Check your facility's protocol. Next, nails should be clean, polish-free, and no artificial nails because they can increase the contaminants and possibly tear your gloves while scrubbing. And lastly, put on your shoe cover if from outside or wear your proper operating room clogs. Each phase must follow an order for it to be properly executed. It will start from surgical scrubbing, followed by gowning, and lastly by gloving. The equipment needed to create a sterile technique includes a sink or an automatic sink, sterile scrub brush with a nail pick, antiseptic soap, and a sterile gown and gloves in your correct size. Procedure: open sterile scrub with nail pick on top of a sink. If this is the first case of the day, a pre-wash is necessary. Wet hands and forearms with water, then dispense antimicrobial soap. Do hand washing. Use a nail pick to clean under each fingernail under running water. Use a brush or sponge to scrub all surfaces of the hands and forearms using friction in a systematic approach, either a counted scrub or a timed scrub. Scrub both hands and arms before rinsing. With fingertips together, use a light but firm pressure to stroke the nails in a back and forth motion with the abrasive side of the sponge. The abrasive brush side is only used for fingertips. The foam side is for the other parts of the arm. Rinse hands and forearms thoroughly under running water in a one-way direction, keeping hands above elbows to let the water go from the cleanest to the less clean area. If you need to pass through again with the same hand and arm, it is okay to do so to ensure all soap residuals are removed. Repeat for the other hand and arm. Dry hands and forearms with a sterile towel, blotting from fingertips to elbows. Step into the gown, inserting arms into the sleeves, and have the circulating nurse tie the gown at the back. There are two types of gloving techniques without assistance. We have the close gloving and the open gloving. For the close gloving, with the gown sleeves covering the hands, carefully open the glove package and insert fingers into the gloves, then pull the cups over the gown sleeves. For the open gloving, carefully pull the glove over the fingers, avoiding touching the outside of the glove with bare hands. Take hold of the pass card in your right hand and pull the string on your left hand and give the pass card to your circulating staff, being careful not to pull the remaining tie out of the card. Rotate 360 degrees, going to your left, taking the remaining string and tie your gown. Now, you are ready to touch the sterile field. Important considerations. Sterile fields should always be established as close as possible to the time of the procedure and should not be left unattended. When a sterile field is opened and exposed for a long time before the procedure, the risk of contamination of items by airborne microbes is higher. If left unattended, the risk is higher such that someone might have accidentally contaminated the field. This put the patient at risk for a hospital-acquired infection or HAI. When creating a sterile field in the operating room, it is important to arrange the furniture before opening supplies because of the spreading of microbes as you move around. The furniture should be 12 to 18 inches from the walls or any objects that could contaminate the field. Before opening any supplies, all packages must be checked to ensure the integrity of the packaging materials. There should not be any holes or tears in the outside wrappers. In opening a sterile package, the first flap should be opened away from you, then each side flap, and lastly, the flap closest to you. It is essential to take note that an imaginary 1-inch border exists along the edges and is considered unsterile and should be avoided when tossing items onto the field. Another unsterile area is anything below table height. Ensure you do not touch any surface already scrubbed, and if you accidentally bump the sink or touch your skin where it is cleaned, you must wash that area for an extra minute. Breaks in aseptic techniques or contamination of sterile fields or supplies cause complications. Thank you for your attention. I hope this presentation inspired you to be part of our team. And these are my references.